It's all starting to make sense. The constant posts.
For the first time since Caitlin Clark came, the Indiana Fever are pleading with fans to purchase tickets. There are still $280 seats available for preseason games. There are whole parts of the home opener that are unsold. Last year, this same team sold out in less than an hour. In women's basketball, the same team is the most popular. Additionally, fans are explaining to them why they aren't purchasing. They are not being duped again because they recall the previous season. When, a week before the season begins, you can't sell out your home opener despite having the most popular player in women's basketball. Does that indicate that the supporters no longer have faith in the way your team is managing that player? Or is the economy and ticket costs the only factors at play here?
More. I've never seen them ask more. I've never seen them demand more. I've never seen them tweet more. When it comes to ticket sales and trying to sell out an arena, I have never seen the Indiana Fever ask more than they are asking now. And I am beginning to find...
Let's discuss the current state of Indiana Fever ticket sales. Because this is one of those circumstances where the organization is unwilling to acknowledge what the numbers reveal. The Fever have been announcing the availability of tickets on a regular basis. They are tweeting. People are being reminded. They are exerting more effort than ever to get fans to purchase tickets. And for a team that has Caitlin Clark on the roster, this is absolutely unheard of. Tickets sold out in the first 2 years of the Caitlin Clark era. The first year is over in a matter of minutes. The same thing happened in year 2. The Fever was unable to hold tickets for long enough. People were rushing to play games. The secondary market was crazy. The demand was so great that it was literally impossible to get tickets at face value. The Caitlin Clark impact was that. The Indiana Fever are the most sought-after team in the WNBA thanks to the strongest draw in women's basketball.
He lets us all know tickets are moving a little slowly for the Indiana Fever. When you compare it to the first year, flew off the shelves. When you compare it to the second year, hashtag now you know, flew off the shelves. They couldn't keep them long enough. Now, we are a week away from preseason. A lot of tickets available. We are about 2 weeks away from the regular season. A lot of tickets available. Not only are they available, but the Indiana Fever, these tickets are high. Like, I wouldn't spend that much money on tickets.
However, there are a ton of tickets available now that the preseason is 1 week away and the regular season is 2 weeks away. Not just seats with nosebleeds. Not just any old games on a weekday. Parts of the home opener against the Dallas Wings are completely empty. Seats on the upper deck are still available for more than $100. The middle sections range from $300 to $400. The cost of seats behind the bench ranges from $700 to $900. Additionally, no one is purchasing. Preseason tickets cost between $100 to $280, which is even worse. Preseason. Uncountable games. Rotations are tested in practice games, and starters may only play a few minutes. Additionally, those seats cost $280 from the Fever. For games that are just glorified scrimmages, that is absurd price. Additionally, fans are declining those charges. The economy will now be cited by the Fever and their supporters. The cost of gas has increased. The cost of airfare is high. Living expenses have increased. The grocery store is cruel. That's all true. Discretionary spending, such as purchasing sports tickets, is undoubtedly influenced by economic reasons. No one disputes that. Here's the problem though. Last year, the economy was also difficult. For many years, inflation has been a problem. However, last season's tickets were still sold out right away. What has changed then? Why are people reluctant to purchase tickets this year while they were prepared to pay high amounts last year? Trust is the solution. Or, more precisely, the fanbase's total loss of faith in the organization due to their treatment of Caitlin Clark during the previous season.
Is the juice worth the squeeze? Especially when you don't know the role of your favorite player. People remember last year. day to day, day to day, day to day, day to day, and they would spend tickets and spend money and spend money.
And let's discuss what transpired the previous year, which is why people are currently hesitant to purchase tickets. Caitlin Clark suffered an injury. With her status, the team went into daily mode. There was uncertainty in every game. Is she having fun? Is she not having fun? It wasn't known until just before tip-off. Additionally, fans who purchased tickets weeks or months in advance would arrive at games only to discover that Clark was not participating.
At Caitlin Clark, Stephanie White said before the game that the fact that she is day-to-day means that the imaging she got today is good news. Still no word.
According to the fan in the source material, they purchased tickets in advance, went to Indianapolis with a friend, stayed in a hotel across the street from the arena, and their favorite players weren't playing. It's a terrible experience. You have to pay for flights. You make hotel reservations. You purchase tickets. You devote time, energy, and effort to watching Caitlin Clark perform. She's not even in the building when you arrive. Another fan claimed that after Caitlin's accident, they booked tickets at the beginning of the season, paid exorbitant prices, spent an expensive night in Indianapolis, and took their family to 4 games. In order to avoid being burned again, they are also adopting a wait-and-see strategy this year. Right now, ticket sales are being killed by that sentiment. Fans recall being taken advantage of. They recall feeling as though the organization was dragging them along, using Caitlin Clark as a circus act to maintain interest and attendance. Because the Fever were acting in this manner, they would declare that Caitlin will soon be back. Tickets for that game would be purchased by fans. They would then add, actually, she needs another week or 2, just before the game. However, the tickets had already been sold. The Fever already had the money in his pocket. Additionally, when fans arrived at games hoping to see Clark, they were met with a lineup that was depleted. And by August, injuries had destroyed the team. However, fans had already made financial commitments. Plans had already been made. They had previously made an investment to watch Caitlin Clark play hoops. And the company exploited that by keeping supporters waiting for ambiguous injury updates and daily status reports, which never provided them with specific information about whether their investment would be profitable.
And the craziest thing about this last groin injury with Caitlin Clark is how it's been covered. The day after she had the groin injury, she was listed as day-to-day. And then a couple weeks after that, then she was listed to being out indefinitely. Now, ESPN had August 12th as the circled return date for Caitlin Clark to get back onto the court. And just yesterday, she was listed as a game time decision for today's game against the Dallas Wings. And then after practice yesterday, Coach Stephanie White basically came out and said, like, no, Caitlin Clark hasn't even been practicing. So they changed it from a game time decision to her being out. This has been all over the place, and I get it to a certain extent. The fans, the media does not need to know every little thing that's going on with Caitlin Clark's injuries, especially a star player like that. We will never know all the information, nor should we know all the information, and that's actually good for Caitlin. It protects her for when she does come back on the court. She can't be targeted. Teams can't use a certain injury or ailment against her if people don't really know what is going on. But the reporting of her timeline in general, there has been no rhyme or reason to what has been shared about it.
People recall that. You can't expect your clients to return with open wallets the following year if you treat them that way. Building trust is difficult, but destroying it is simple. The way the Indiana Fever handled Caitlin Clark's injury and the information around it last season severely damaged their reputation. Furthermore, it goes beyond managing injuries. When Clark was healthy, the team utilized her on the court. Caitlin Clark is the best player in women's basketball, and fans would expect to see her lead the offense, make plays, score points, and do all those things. Rather, they would watch her do cardio by running around off the ball. They would stand in corners and observe her. While other guards handled the ball, they would watch Stephanie White play her at small forward. To witness the Caitlin Clark experience, fans paid top dollar. The Stephanie White show was what they received, where exploiting Caitlin Clark's unique qualities was subordinated to the coach's notion of how basketball should be played. Fans also keep it in mind. I paid how much money to watch Caitlin Clark set screens, is what they recall thinking. Include anything that has occurred throughout this off-season. The roster construction is incomprehensible. Signing 8 guards when the team already possesses the world's finest point guard. When they needed size, they drafted Raven Johnson at number 10. Amber Cox discusses restricting Caitlyn's time. Stephanie White claims that since she has 25 years on Caitlyn, she is more knowledgeable. Lynn Dunn called out supporters on Twitter for questioning roster selections. All of it results in a company that appears more concerned with demonstrating their superior intelligence than with genuinely developing around their generational potential. Fans notice that. They perused those quotations. They observe those interviews. They are aware of what is being said behind the scenes. Additionally, they are making the sensible choice to hold off on making any investments till they have a chance to observe how this season turns out. Because what if Caitlyn's and my purchases are limited to a certain number of minutes? What happens if she plays 25 minutes rather than 35 because the team wants to develop Raven Johnson? What would happen if they spent hundreds of dollars on hotels, flights, and tickets just to see Stephanie White's sluggish, controlled offense suffocate the team's top player the previous season? Based on actual data from the previous season and actual statements made by the team this offseason, those are legitimate worries. Fans aren't acting irrationally. They are defending themselves against future burns. They are demanding, "Show me this is going to be different before I give you my money." Additionally, the economics of it are important. The cost of these tickets is really high. Seats on the upper deck cost $100. 4 intermediate parts, $300 to $400, $700 to $900 to take a seat behind the bench. NBA pricing are those. The Fever are charging significant market premium franchise rates for a team that finished 10-34 the previous season due to Caitlyn's injury. When fans have faith that they will receive the thing they are purchasing, you can charge those rates. However, those rates suddenly seem far less reasonable when that trust is betrayed and people have already been let down. When there's a genuine chance, why would someone spend $280 on a preseason ticket? While the starters rest, Caitlyn plays a few minutes. When folks paid $400 for a regular season game last year and weren't even able to watch her play, why would someone do that? A difficult lesson about customer relations is being taught to the Fever. Demand cannot be assumed to be constant. Fans are something you cannot take for granted. They cannot be handled like ATMs that you can shake whenever you need cash. Because they will eventually lose faith in you. They will eventually say, "I'm good on that." And that's precisely what is taking place. It's embarrassing to have 70% of tickets sold when your roster includes the hottest player in women's basketball. It's not a problem with supply. The economy isn't like that. It's a matter of trust. Fans are voting with their money when they say things like, "We're not sure you're going to deliver what we're paying for." This is even more striking when compared to last year. In less than an hour, last year's home opener sold out. A week before the game, there are a ton of tickets available for this year's home opener. It's a loud disparity. That's hardly a little drop. That is a significant decline in demand. And it's taking place when Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Caitlin Clark are still on the squad. On paper, the roster is superior to that of the previous season. So why aren't fans purchasing? Because they have doubts about the organization's ability to use that roster appropriately. They don't think Stephanie White will make the most of Caitlin Clark. They don't believe the front office will put winning ahead of demonstrating the effectiveness of their procedure. They don't have faith that the entertainment value they anticipate will come from the money they spend. Then Lynn Dunn calls fans whiners on Twitter. That is the icing on the cake for this catastrophe. An organization is having trouble selling tickets and has obviously done something to undermine fan confidence. Rather than addressing these issues, a front office official is categorizing detractors and asking them to shut talking. You know what occurs when businesses act in that way? Fans become even more disinterested. "Oh, you think I complain too much?" they say. "Allow me to demonstrate what happens when I completely fail to show up." When Steve Cohen chastised supporters for not spending enough money, that's what occurred with the Mets. There was a decline in attendance. "You think we don't spend enough?" asked fans. "Observe us not making any purchases." That's the same route the Indiana Fever are taking. By ignoring valid criticism, making illogical roster choices, and treating their star player in ways that irritate those who pay to watch her, they are losing their fan base. They are currently paying the price through ticket sales. This is the reality that the Fever organization must comprehend. They gained importance because to Caitlin Clark. They had sold out arenas thanks to her. She increased their sales of items, media attention, and national recognition. However, she did not bring them unwavering allegiance. Because they wanted to witness Caitlin Clark perform at her peak, fans turned out. Fans take note when the organization stops that from happening, mismanages her, restricts her, or plays her in ways that don't fully utilize her abilities. And they react. The current response is, "We'll wait and see." Fans are being cautious. They are not making an upfront financial commitment. They will see how the season begins, how Caitlin is utilized, and whether the company has learned from its mistakes from the previous year. And if everything seems promising, they might purchase tickets at that point. However, they will not be duped once more. By their own acts, the Fever have brought about this predicament. The nonsense of daily injuries last year. The offensive scheme failed to adequately use their best player. This year's roster building put an emphasis on depth at spots where they already excel. The statements made by the front administration and coaches regarding restricting Caitlin's playing time. All of this culminates in fans declaring, "I don't trust you." Furthermore, the basis of any client connection is trust. Without it, even if your product is the greatest in the world, consumers won't purchase it. Despite having the best player in women's basketball, the Fever are unable to sell out their home opening. That shouldn't be feasible. However, they made it feasible by betraying their fans' faith in them. Fans are not falling for it again because they remember being taken advantage of. Please share your thoughts in the comment section, subscribe, and enable all notifications so you don't miss anything. We'll see you in the next one after you click the video on the screen.